everybody, it's Silvana and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple days since I uploaded the video about when do you classify your book started, and I said then I would be making a video for an update, so here we are. Let's start with Camp NaNoWriMo for July. I know it's almost the end of August, but it's been that long since we've made a video, so let's talk all the things. If you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. It's my insanity here. Otherwise, if you've been watching the old episodes and you're all caught up to date, again, I want to apologize for being gone for so long. I know in the land of YouTube, being gone for a couple days or even a week or two can be the death of a channel, but with how small my channel is anyway, I don't really feel like I've done any real damage to my viewership. That being said, let's go over what happened and what my plans are going forward into the future. So first of all, what happened? As you may know, because I've talked about it in the past, I have videos about it as well, I have depression, and we were writing well in June. We were going through camp, or July, sorry. We were writing well in July. It was for fun, but we were doing good. We were making videos pretty much every day for the first part of July, and then some personal issues hit, and depression. The big part of those were depression and some relationship issues. Now, since that time, all that's been settled out, but I do have to keep in mind, relationship or not, I do have my relationship. Don't think that my 25-year marriage is over or anything like that. But I have to realize that when it comes to writing and making videos, that I do have depression, and so asking myself to toe a certain line is okay. Asking too much of myself or expecting too much of myself will overwhelm me and cause me to have issues. So take every day as it comes. Try to do what I can. Now, missing out on finishing camp was kind of sad, and that was mostly my fault. I believe I made a video and popped it up. I may not have. I meant to if I didn't, near the end of July, saying that I had changed my goal. My plan was to try to write to a certain number of words, and if we didn't make it, we'd go on the last day and change our goal to be the number of words we'd hit, just to say that we'd done it. That's kind of a form of cheating, but people talk about doing it all the time with camp, and I don't feel too bad about doing that. However, because my track of days are not the greatest, I forgot to go on the 31st of July and change my goal back down to what we had reached, because I didn't reach the secondary goal I had set, since I didn't get anything near the first goal I set, and thus we did not finish camp. Well, I didn't finish camp. You guys were just along for the ride. That sucks, but it is what it is, and that's fine. So let's cover some other things. Let's talk about writing and schedules. Now, I should have had some of this stuff pulled up in preparation to make the video, but you guys know me, I never prepare. So right now, I am mid-edit of Project Ghost. I've been working on the edit of Project Ghost for all of August. I needed to go back through, read through the manuscript, and make a timeline as it sat in the book to check to see if things were going as they should be going. I caught that I had missed some stuff, not real big plot stuff, just time marker stuff. And I did have the very end of the book timeline incorrect. I had said that um, someone had died, and then 6 months later it was Christmas, but they died in October. So 6 months later from October is not Christmas. Now, I don't know, since I have Christmas written, if, well, I have to rewrite that whole ending because it's all out of whack anyway. I have yet to decide if I'm just going to leave it Christmas, and instead of saying it's been 6 months, say it's been 2 or a little over 2, or if I'm going to stick with the 6 months since I'm having to rewrite it anyway and make it April, the next April after. I don't think novel-wise Christmas, whether, when it is, how long it's been, really matters, since it's just putting the bow on it. But I'll make that decision in the end. I got something new for my writing. Well, I got a couple things new for my writing. So let's start with that. So hold on a second while I flip the camera. Hi, it's Silvana. Welcome back. So we flipped camera. This is the first thing I did about writing. If you can't tell from where the light shines in my living room or the distance, this is a laptop. It's very small. It's an 11.6. What is it? It says on the back. It's a Lenovo IdeaPad 130S. All right, now I'm going to flip back and we'll talk about why I got the laptop in a minute. So, well, it'll be a minute for me. It'll be a second for you. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Okay, so let's talk about the laptop and why I got it. I've been talking off and on about needing to get the program Microsoft Word, well, Microsoft Office. I went online and looked at the price for Office. It was $10 a month, which would be a total, if I paid per month, of $120, or you could pay for a year all at once and get it for $100 instead. And I had planned, when I got paid this month, or at the beginning of the month, to go ahead and spend that $100 to buy Microsoft Office. I was then talking with my husband and stuff that there are times, and I believe I've touched on this subject before, we use the computer that I use for writing and making videos as our major form of entertainment. We watch Hulu, we watch Netflix, we watch YouTube. We do not have cable. So what we watch is through the computer. It's hooked up to the main TV. That's why I'm in the living room. That I wanted in time to get a laptop, so that on Mondays and Tuesdays, when he's watching wrestling, which I don't particularly care for, I could have the laptop on and write, and we can still spend time together in the same room because we can talk and stuff like that. And because I'm good at splitting my attention, I can pay attention enough to the wrestling that I know what's going on, because sometimes, although it's been a little bit of time since we went the last time. We go to the live shows, and that way I know who's fighting with who and what the storyline is for who's fighting with who. But for the most part, I'm paying attention to my edit. But that I was going to have to wait a while for that because the cost of a laptop, depending on what you get, is kind of, well, for how much money I have, is kind of out of my reach. Well, I went looking on the website at laptops on Best Buy, and they were having some sort of, I guess maybe it was a Christmas in July sale or something like that. Anyway, a back to school sale. They were having a sale where the laptop I got, now it's not big, it's not spectacular, it's not a gaming rig by any stretch of the imagination. It has a small, very small hard drive in it. It has like 4 gigs of RAM. It's a very wee machine. However, that being said, it works for what I got it for, which is writing. Anyway, they had it on sale for $130. At which point I said, well, I feel since I've got it in, the icing on the laptop cake, as it were, is it came with a year's subscription to Microsoft Office that you can put on any machine you own. Well, I was already going to spend $100 to get Office. I'll spend $30 for a laptop. And that's how I looked at it. I was getting Office for the $100 and the laptop for an extra $30. So bonus. So I bought it. I spent the $30 I usually put into my savings account each month. I didn't put into my savings account this month, and I bought the laptop. I do not regret that choice at all, because boy, have I used the laptop since I bought it. So the other thing that I've been doing, other than editing my happy butt off, is we've talked before about schedules. And I showed you Trello, which was great for an online schedule, and I liked it. However, I've went a different way other than Trello. The reason I went away from Trello, well, that we want this. The reason I went from Trello is on Trello, each time you had to either make your schedule new or copy and paste it to a new week, marking the dates differently. Here, what I've gone for is a base schedule just set on the date, because that's how I was doing it on Trello. I kept doing the same things on Monday, every Monday, on Tuesday, every Tuesday. I just had to keep copying them up. So I would have to, I'd have had the 19th through, I went Monday to Sunday. I just think that flows better for how I look at the week. So I'd have had this week already done, and then somewhere around here, around the 15th to the 16th, I'd have copied the 19th to the 26th, maybe done it for the 2nd and stuff like that, but changed the date. All the stuff would have been the same that I was doing this Monday to this Monday to this Monday. I just kept having to change the date and making a new one. Here, I can just make one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I can look, boom, let's go, boom. Something's happened and my Hello Kitty is not quite where it should be. Well, that's okay, I guess. Let's try and get Hello Kitty a little bit more where she belongs. Okay. Kind of messes with the readability, but that's alright. Maybe that's why I had her way over there. So I have it as a list, so I can mark. I woke up, I've made coffee and had breakfast, I took a shower, I haven't talked to Fi today, I've been working-ish on my book, so I can check them. And then when I'm done with the day, I can either go back in and uncheck them for next week, or I believe I can check it and then go up here to clear and clear it. But I clicked it, nothing happened. It didn't delete anything, which is good, but you can't read that day, then tomorrow, I'll do tomorrow. Now, I did make it a checklist so I can check it if I want to, but it's not as important to me that it gets checked. I mean, I guess I could, and that's why I made it that way. But either way is good with me, and I did it for, each day. I did, different art every day so that I could, have something pretty while I went, while I was doing that day's work. So this is how I'm doing my schedule now. I like it because it's shareable with other people. So, and I can keep multiple things in here. And it goes between my computer, my laptop. I could put it on my phone if I wanted to, if I needed to look at it from somewhere else, and so I use it as my schedule. I use it for recipes. Now, I only have 2 recipes on there, and that's one for coq au vin and one for stuffed bell pepper soup. And then you saw it when I opened it, and I don't care. I'm pretty open about my life with you guys that you saw my budget. Now, let's talk about the budget. Let's talk about first the Warcraft $40. I play World of Warcraft. I pay for my World of Warcraft and my Master's World of Warcraft. That is not $40. It's about $32. I support Kate on Patreon. I did have a subscription to RBG on Twitch, but he hasn't really been streaming lately, so I dropped that. I will probably next month use that $6 a month, go back to Apex and get a Minecraft server, but I'm not entirely positive about that yet. So I overestimated that $40. Let's talk about the second thing that looks weird on this list. Alcohol for $25. This is not liquor. It's rubbing alcohol. Every month, we use the rubbing alcohol to clean some stuff in the apartment. And you specifically need a specific kind of rubbing alcohol to do it. So it's a little more expensive than your average rubbing alcohol. So me and my roommate, because we both own an item that needs to be cleaned with it, we split the cost. Again, does it cost $25? No, but I'd rather overestimate and have a couple bucks left over than underestimate and not. The other thing on here is my student loan. My student loan is coming back on the 1st of October. Now, I am disabled. I get disability. And I do know, before you go commenting on the bottom, that I can get my student loan discharged because I'm disabled. I have the paperwork here to do that. The issue with that is you have to get a doctor to fill it out. And I don't have a doctor to fill that out. Now, I hear you asking yourself, how did I get disability without a doctor? So what happened with that is disability looked at my medical record from the hospital, which is not a GP doctor, and they sent me to a psychiatrist and, what kind of doctor was he? An orthopedic, I believe is what he is, or was. Well, he is that. That's the right doctor. I'm not sure. But they sent me to a doctor to look at my knee. But he's their doctor. He's not my doctor. Those two people filled out whatever paperwork they needed to fill out, sent it in, and whatever they said, plus whatever they saw in my medical record from the hospital, made them make the determination that, yes, I am disabled. So I need to find a general practitioner that can and will fill out my paperwork without having medical coverage right now, because I'm still fighting with Medicaid and disability about that. So that's the big updates for right now. Going forward, let's talk a little bit about going forward. Right now, as I've said before, I am deep in the edit of Project Ghost. It's going to seem weird to talk about it, but I'll do the best I can. I'll do a real quick overlay. I know this video is getting long. So, in the book, it starts it technically starts mid-October, but that's only like a very brief moment in mid-October. The main story picks up near the end of October and goes through to the big finale is the following October. So overall, it lasts, the story takes place over the length of a year. I didn't mean for that to happen. That's just the way the story went when I zero drafted it. And I'm fine with that, for that to happen. And it to be that, if you want to call it short of a time period, that's fine. Now, I started writing that mid-April for Camp Nano in April. And by the time April came, the end of April came, and camp was done, but the book was not. So I spent the rest of June and July to finish out the rough draft of Project Ghost. I then let it sit a month. It was supposed to be 3 months, but we've discussed control and time and waiting before. That did not happen. Fine. So we're on the edit. When that edit is finished, I was thinking, again, I'm just estimating time. This is the first go round. This is where we learn all the lessons. Next time we be a little better. Next time's a little cleaner. Next time's a little more organized. I'm not going to say next time's a little more faster, because I won't know that yet. And the cool thing about me not being published and not having a contract for publication yet is I don't have a time limit. If it takes me the rest of this month and all of next month to finish the edit, then that's how long it takes me to finish the edit. But when I first started, I thought I would do it in about 30 days. That's turning out to be incorrect. Right now, where I'm at it in the book edit is around the 4th of July. So that tells you we've got till about mid-October from the 4th of July. It doesn't take long, to figure out 3 months. I have 3 months worth of book time to edit. What I'm adding now, because I had to add, there was some scenes missing, is the last big add-in. Everything else is already written. The rest of it's going to be clean up and flow. Make sure stuff fits in to the timeline. I fixed where the timeline's gone skewy, and then the next big thing I'll have to really add or change, and I know it's going to be a big chunk, is that very last about page or so of the book. I don't think I'm going to get that done, counting today, in the next 5 days, by the 31st. I don't count July, since it just sat for July to rest, as part of time to work on it, if that makes any sense. So 2.5 to write and a month and a half to edit, a total of 4 months to get it to ready for beta. I don't think that's a bad ask. I really don't think that's a bad ask. So going forward, after we're done editing, well, what's next on the agenda depends on my brain. If what I believe will happen, when I get done with Project Ghost, I'm going to take a day or 2 off, and then I believe, because that stress will finally be relaxed and the story will finally be completely out of my brain, I believe Project Night will be what pushes for next. If it does, fine, I'll write it. If it doesn't, and I think I've talked about this before, I love all of my stories, but some of them are much more personal to me, and I don't know the how and why of that, or if it's like that for other writers, but that's how it is for me. So, Project Night, I will not write until it's ready, until it pushes to be born. So if it doesn't push and nothing else does, I'll go to Project Blackwing next. My plan there is I'll just start writing Blackwing, and if I finish it before anything else wakes up, cool, fine. And if I'm in the middle of it and something else wakes up and says, okay, I'm ready, Project Blackwing can get put on hold for whatever wakes up and says it's ready to go. That's part of the lesson I learned in July. Even though we didn't win camp and we didn't get the amount of words that we wanted to, all of this has been a learning curve. I've learned to write when I want to write. Don't wait. And if I'm having a good day where the words will come, don't hit a certain number or a certain amount of time and say, okay, well, that's what I said I was going to do for the day. So although the words want to keep coming, I'm going to put this on hold and wait till tomorrow. No, I learned that lesson I learned in April to write, to just write. If I feel inspired, to write whatever I'm inspired. Whatever wants to come, whatever order the books come in, not fight them, just roll with them. That's what I learned in April when this started. And then July, I learned Don't try and make the words fit the schedule I want it to. If the words are flowing and they want to come, and I've hit the 2,000 goal for the day, although my goal was 1,600. If I've hit the 1,600 or 500 or whatever goal is for the day, and they still want to come, to keep writing until either the words stop or I literally can't look at the page anymore because I'm about to face plant the computer. I also learned in July and also during the rough draft of, well, I started to pick up the lesson during the rough draft of Ghost, but it really came home as a solid fact in July that if I'm not feeling it, not to push, to try to get it, to just let, if I need to take a mental health day and take a break because the words just won't come, to go ahead and do that. Because trying to force it actually makes that length of time, how long I'm not writing, longer. So that's your update. I'm sorry the video has gone on for so long. For everyone that watches it again, or any of my videos, I want to say thank you so much. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and do all the do's below. And I hope that you all have a really great day.